Okay? So, asang uban? Ano, pal mo kabuok? Ngayon na makabuok ka ng polite. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we invite your other classmates to join the class? Ano, wala, di na mamug-up sa klase. Okay, so good morning everyone.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Makita na sa inyong screen ang presentation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, I have here no a sample picture of women. Okay, so I want you to observe this kanang picture. So before we start, we have not the objectives that is located no. So in this lesson, you'll be defining the difference between the sources and propaganda. You will understand why it is important to know where the sources are coming from, and also applying a formula to decide if the source is reliable. So by those objectives, you know already our discussion siguro. But before we start, I want you to observe this picture. Okay, we have women, no? So, mga gwapa sila dili. Gwapa. What else do you observe sa picture, class? Aside sa ilang kagwapa. Diba na question, which is the odd one out? Diba? Which is the odd?
Beauty, sir.
I'm sorry, Barb. Is ito?
Highlight na beauty.
Okay, they have different beauties. What else? Thank you.
Different hairstyles.
Okay. Another. Thank you for that, JV. What's pa yung other observation nato? Are they sharing the same culture? How about nationality? Are they the
Lahi
same? Ha?
lahi gyapon.
Okay. Diba? They are also different. So, what is the connection of this woman sa atong discussion? Actually, let's talk about fake news versus facts. So, which one here is the odd one? Actually, ang pinaka-odd na ni silang tulo is the middle one. Okay, kani siya. Why? She has all the what's making her different from the others that, for example, we have here a pink hair. Okay? If you talk about culture, mga good class, pink hair that exists. Even through the even if we look through sa mga history or any kind of any sort of origin, pink hair doesn't exist, di ba? For the women. And then yes, they are sharing different culture. The one we have here, no, uh, medyo nasa curly hair, and the color first, the complexion is different from the this Asian woman. no, ang light pink hair. So, obviously, this woman here is a Korean. Ana lang, no? Because she's kanang manifesting the Korean or the K-pop culture. Diba? Naa siya pink hair. And also, naapot tayo a white woman here that naa siya natural look. Okay? Because most American do have yellow hair naturally. And they can also have brown or black hair. So what's the connection of those pictures of fake news versus facts? Okay. Now, not everything online and in the media is what it seems. We need to be cautious when deciding what we believe. CGI in this good in this picture, the CGI in this picture good, this girl da kuno in the middle does not exist. It means that this girl sa this Asian woman here is a fake picture. Okay? She is a kanang fake siya. In short, sa picture, gi-add lang siya, no? Gibutang lang siya. Okay? But how did they do it? Okay? What is the technologically possible na siya. 'Di ba? Like for example, you can add you can add this is what this is the advantage of technology nowadays, no? We can do whatever we want, 'di ba? We can manipulate viewers by just uh, providing them pictures that aren't really kind of bitang, for example, dili siya ga-exist jud. Okay, those pictures or those informations nga pwede na siya mabuhat-buhatan ng storya. Okay, for example, we have Wikipedia. There's a reason why Wikipedia is not really 100% uh kind of bitang dili siya 100% reliable nga source ang Wikipedia because ang Wikipedia man good tanan pwede na access, di ba? Pwede tanan maka-edit ito. If you want to put information nga dili jud mao, di ba? Dili siya align sa reality, pwede na siya mabuhat sa Wikipedia. Okay, that's why gina-discourage ang uban nga dili magkog-source sa Wikipedia. Okay, ano? Daghan kay mga fake news diya, no? Daghan kay mga non-reliable nga sources. So, what are the important keywords that we need to remember if you talk about defining keywords or differentiating keywords, I'm sorry, fake news to facts? First is the sources. Okay, anything which gives information, including TV, social media, magazines, books, and websites. So, sa inyong research, resources or sources are very important. Di ba? References are very important because we're not 100% really that smart to create our own stories, to create our own narratives. Okay, we need to have sources. Sources that are reliable, based from facts, and those information that were based also from experiments. We also have critical literacy. Okay, this is something that is trustworthy. Okay, judging the reliability of the sources. When can we say that we are uh, that the sources that we have gathered is really reliable? Okay, we manage it through critical literacy. By what means man siya? So by means of doing more of the research. Okay, so the research means not really kanang not really forming the real research, but what I meant about uh evaluating the resources of its sa iyahang tanang reliability is that you have to make sure that the information of this source is the same information on the other source and so on and so forth. Okay, it's not only one source lang ang nag-create nga information. Daghan siya. Okay, that is how you do the critical literacy. And of course, no, the one who made it. Okay, dapat din siya kanang gawang kanto lang. Okay, dapat din siya gawang pambahay lang. It should be something that is made by professionals. Professional by means of by its kanang kwan by its uh by its forte. Okay, pasabot sa forte sa iyahang mastery. And also propagandas. So propaganda is a misleading information which gives a biased view. It's bias means one-sided that is often to encourage a certain view. Actually, propagandas are very common. Okay, propaganda does not only exist in social media, but it also exists in books or other sort of articles. Okay, you as a student can also create your own propaganda. Diba? You can mislead anyone by just talking or by just encouraging them to believe you. Uh, Siguro in layman's term, we can compare propaganda to the marites, di ba? Marites are also sort of black propagandas because there are people who are good in creating disinformation and then convincing others to believe them. Di ba? Chika here, chika everywhere. So, is propaganda really a good source of information? The answer is no. In research, you cannot put propaganda as part of your reference. Propaganda does not really. It's not a good thing. Okay, it is not a best example for a reference. If you put propaganda on your reference, then you are talking about bias. Okay, you are putting bias on your view. So if you wanted to provide good propaganda, make sure that you are providing them information that based from facts. Okay. Okay. Why does knowing where sources come from matter? Okay. This is a very good question, di ba, class? Why does knowing where sources come from matter? Ngano ka importante kay mabuan kung asa siya gikan ang information? So the better informed we are, the better choices we make, and the safer we are. Okay. So we have sample pictures here. These are sample articles. Okay. These are sample magazines. And if we evaluate this sample pictures here, we might say that okay, some of this were true, some of this were not. But the big question here is that how could believing this headlines impact someone's life and choices? Okay, like you, for example, as a reader, as a viewer, if you'll be reading this one, if you will read this one, ISIS will be here soon. I think this information were based from this information actually happened. It became relevant. It became relevant way back when the information sort to medyo nagkuan siya no nag circulate siya, and then there were videos, pictures of uh, terrorism happen in a specific place, and then there were also no, the name ISIS there is nabrot siya, no, through social media and through those pictures and videos nga nag-circulate. But what is the impact? No, what is the impact of that information? What's the impact of that shown video and pictures? Actually, if you talk about reality, it gives a big impact sa ato nga mga viewers or sa ato nga mga readers. Because what happened? We become cautious and vigilant. Sakto? 'Di ba? Kamo sa una sa mga bata mo nakaduog mag nabay ISIS sa Maguindanao. Unsay na feel nila to nga time? Kung kamo ang subject dato nga nahitabo. Would you believe nga nay ISIS sa Maguindanao? Oh, ikaw Jovil, if you will be kung ikaw ang Jovil, kung ikaw ang nakadungog nga nay ISIS sa Maguindanao Jovil, what will you do?
Sir?
Kung ikaw ang viewer, no, nakabasa ka nga ang ISIS basta talaga ang ISIS is nasa moist. What will you feel?
Pwede mo tanong, sir, wala ka ba lang si ISIS?
Okay, ISIS are kanang terrorist. Okay? Dili di ka hilig sa kwan, Jovil? Di ka hilig sa news?
Kaya wala man sir, pero karon po ka nakadungog na mga word.
Kalpa ka nung day. So, dili jud ka good in news. Do not say nga good in news ka or balo ka sa news. Dili ka balo sa news. Okay? Kaya kung kabalo ka unsay mga kwan, unsay mga panghitabo. Anyways, okay, ISIS are terrorists. So, kung ikaw ka ng Juvil, nakadungog ka nga nanay ISIS sa Moist, what will you feel?
Kulbaan sir.
Okay, makulbaan. Okay, mahadlok ka. Diba? Because you are informed nga na ISIS sa Moist. So, the question there is, musulod pa ba ka sa Moist kung kabalo ka na ISIS?
Dili sir.
Diba? Naturally, obviously, Jude, diba? Thank you, Jovel. Dili, Jude. No? Because that is the impact of hearing that there is an ISIS sa Moist. Okay, it's the same thing when you read the headlines. Actually, it's happening sa Facebook. No? People tend to believe nga, with the headlines, they tend to believe that what is happening inside that article is really something that they should believe po. Because the headline there is very impactful. Like, for example, sometimes the headlines is misleading ang headlines usay kakita nato. 'Di ba? Especially when you are lack of comprehension and then gibasa lang namang headline and then nag-comment ka based from what you have read sa headline. That is also an act of misinformation, 'di ba? Misleading ang headlines. But you know, sa mga publishing company man good, especially mga mga kamita, mga news companies, I think sa journalism, uso man ni siya, no? Usahay, mag-create sila ka ng headlines nga catchy. Diba? Catchy kaayo. Pero kung ikaw, lack of comprehension, wala kay time to read the whole article, nag-base lang ka sa headlines, you will be misinformed about the real information coming from that headline. Like for example, na headline lugar for example nga kanang kwan. For example katong uh, ako nang ikuan na example na ako niya, this is a political example katong 20 to 30 pesos na lang ang kilo ng bigas according to BBM. That is the headline. Okay? And so a lot of people will now comment on it's very impossible to make 20 to 30 kilos rice pricing, etc., etc., etc. And then once you click that article, you will the statement there will be an information there that will explain what is the headline is all about. Okay? So stop, 'di ba? Piece of advice to those people no that doesn't commenting. Kwan kanang try to read sa. Okay, 'di ba? Try to read sa the whole content of the information before you comment. So, why do you think BBM said nga pwede may mga 20 to 30 kilos ang pricing sa bugas or sa rice? Because there is a plan. No, there is a plan. So, if nabasa to nimo ang plano, ayan ka pwede maghatag og assessment or evaluation nimo. Okay, 'di ba? Pwede ka maghatag og conclusion sa nimo nga. Batog di ay 30 to 20 kilos ang iyang giingon nga pricing because of this and like that. Okay? Do not just be do not just kaya bitong nabasa ni imposible man kani siyang 20 to 30 pesos per kilo. Diba? Yes, very impossible. It's true, it's very impossible. But what if there is something no inside that kanang that you know kanang that price. Okay? Syempre naman dyan na siya ikuan, naman dyan na siya plano. Ganun nag-lead sa ingat to nga statement. So, try to read, deepen your understanding. Okay? So, what are the example of the one? What will be the example of the impact of some headlines? So, this could hurt other people. It will lead to isolation. Isolation by means of referring only one. You only believe on one information and will not believe in others. You become anxious. Okay, like what happened ganina ang question kay Jovil, no? What if na terrorist sa Moise? So you become anxious. Okay, you'll be more hesitant to come over and you know it will be hard for you to act normal na, or because you'll be so vigilant and cautious naman sa iyong surroundings. Also, not trusting people around them and damaging their health. Like, for example, no, uh, dagan kayo, for example, sa health, when other people wanted some advice, like, unsa ka pagpaniwang, and then a person who is doing this diet advised his or this person, no, at you do the intermittent fasting. So katong person nga nag-seek og advice is gibot na intermittent fasting. So nagkuan siya, no, nag 18 hours and 6. So 18-6, no? 18 hours ka walay kaon, 6 hours ka kaon. So that's for a day. Tapos gitry na siya sa katong gi-advisean. And then nagkasakit, and then namatay. 'Di ba? Nagkasakit tapos namatay. So what is the kwan? What is the bottom line there? It means that if you wanted to inform others about, for example, if you wanted to advise others about what you're doing also, make sure that they're also healthy. Okay? Ask them first if they're really healthy. Ask them first if nabasay na feel nga lain silang lawas. Because sometimes, atong na feel man good, kita feel na to healthy ta, but sa uban man good, dili nila feel nga healthy sila. But they are acting that you're healthy. Okay? That's the impact of advising people without even knowing the existence of or the truth, no, sa the truth in them. So you have to be usa may dapat buhaton di ay seek pa, di ba? You have to you have to seek more information on that person. Try to ask, di ba? Interrogate. Okay. Ang intermittent ra ba nga 18, ang intermittent na fasting nga 18-6 ra ba kay pwede ra ba na sa mga tao nga ingana healthy ang iyang mga iyang mga organs. Healthy di ka. Di ba? Hindi siya nga, dara ba ko'y dara ba ko'y ulcer? Asa pala na ko'y ulcer. O paglanlan na kindi. Di ba? Na ganun ba? No? So, you can give advice based from facts. But that is if that person is really giving you some facts. Okay, it's the same thing sa research pod class. No? Do not just trust sources that sounds nga kwan. Again, I keep on repeating this one to you. Do not be deceived by the title lang. Diba? Do not be deceived by the title of the article. You have to read more. Okay? Because sometimes the title of the article is not really relevant to the content. Okay? The title might sound impactful, but the content is not. Okay? You have to realign everything once you read the content. That's the reason po that you need to know how to paraphrase, how to rephrase, to make it sound nga you have done something on that article to make it align sa imuhang research. Okay? Okay, another question. How do you decide what you believe? Okay, how do you decide what you believe? Actually, you cannot control others to believe on what they thought is good and what they thought is bad. Like changing the culture, changing the norms, no? But if you wanted to change, or if you wanted that person to believe you, allow them to practice o sa may practice nila. It depends on what kind of kwan. It depends on the kwan, on the situation. Okay? Like how will you make that person believe nga mo undergo ang intermittent fasting 18-6 hours kung kana siya nga person is dili jud siya ingon nga kwan, dili jud siya ingon nga uh, what do you call this one dili jud siya bitaw ingon bitaw nga a true believer of that process, 'di ba? How will you make that person believe nga kaya nimo mag-diet 18 hours without eating and 6 hours nga kwan continuous eating, 'di ba? So, it's very hard because what if that person is a good eater, no? Hingaon. It's very hard for you to say nga, okay, ayaw pagkuan, uy, kanang, undangin mo pagkaon. Okay, you cannot say that to that person because kanang a person gusto mo kaon og daghan. No? But how do you decide what you believe? Ikaw, as a reader, how do you decide what to believe? When can you say that what you're reading is really true or not? Okay, what will be the basis? How will you uh how are you going to do it? Okay, what will be the best thing that you can do for you to know that what you're reading at what you are seeing is really true or not? So we have here, formula to help us stay safe and avoid false news, propagandas, and practice critical literacy. Okay, I think the best part of this one is knowing what is critical literacy. Critical thinking. Okay, that would be the best formula if you wanted to make to ensure differentiating safe news to falsified information. So the magic formula is to decide which sources to believe. Try to use this. The www. So what is this www stands for? First is who made it. Second is why did they make it, and when did they make it. So this is the magic formula to find out if you're really reading a fake news or a fact news. No. Okay, let's test the www. So we have here a sample, we have here a sample article. A failure to address global warming will cost many lives. Another also is we have a person that is that commented on this article, like Trump, Illuminati, connected, etc. So this person, for example, Brenda, is comment siya regarding this information. And I want you to observe also, class, the format of this article. Another also is an article that talks about scandal, mass media covers up terrorism to protect Islam. And then there's a headline. Okay, this is a massive headline. And then below the headline here is the subtopic. Okay, so there is a person that will be involved in this one, in this article. And then there was a date. So there are people also that are involved in this article. But how can we one how do we decide that this article is really a fact or not? Okay, first is that if you are if you try to believe or for example na ay nag-post about this article, I'm sorry, na nag-post about this article. Okay? Ang iyang gi-post ng article were based only from his or her perception. Okay? That's the problem of kanang perception. Okay? Nag-base siya sa iyahang conclusion. Okay? The person, this person Brenda here concluded that the article uh, she read were kwan, were based from the headline lang. Okay? Headline lang jud siya. Like, nag-comment na siya, Trump, Illuminati, target all connected, etc. I don't know the meaning of this one, but there might be something on this. Okay? So, the source of the information were Brenda, uh, 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 the information was taken by this kwan, by this, let's say, platform, target. And then after Brenda commented, after Brenda posted this one, the platform replied, "We are sorry to feel this way, Brenda." And then Brenda also uh, replied, no? Now, Brenda took the information from the Google. Okay, so si Google, mag-provide siya og information. I think we're all well informed about that one. Diba? Si Google man good is na-add siya yung information. Okay? That is the, muna siya ang source of information nato. But remember ha, ang Google lang is dili lang siya ang the only platform, social media platform that can provide factual information. Yahoo can also be part, can also be a big part, of most of the, of the relevant news. But the question is, did Brenda provide good information to the public based lang from her comment on the article taken from the platform target? Okay, the answer is no. Brenda is not a reliable source. She is not also a reliable person who made it. no? She's the one. She's not the kwan. She's not the source. In fact, the kwan. In fact, when can we say that when can we say nga ang gi-post sa tao is really based from facts? That is if ang format sa gi-share na information is naka-format like this. No? So, in connection with this, we have Paul. Okay, Paul Watson is a YouTube personality and a far-right conspiracy theorist. Watson has accused the U.S. government of planning the September 11 attacks and falsifying some details regarding the moon landing and spreading fake news. So in April 2019, his views were deemed so extreme he was banned from Instagram and Facebook. Okay, Paul Watson was a very famous fake news kind provider. Okay, so the question is, kani ba nga information, kani ba nga article is really true or not? Diba? Yes, the one who made it is from Google. But the question is, why did they make it? Okay? The answer is Paul Watson, since Paul Watson has a bad image na as a kwan, as you know, the one who made this article, okay? Si Paul Watson patata si Paul Watson ang publisher dani. And he was known to be a conspiracy theorist. So if you talk about conspiracy theories man good, you are only creating information based from what you thought is true, no? So in short, you're spreading fake news without even providing evidence. So now, the deceiving part of this article is that wow, the headline is so good to read, diba? And then we also have here, dates. Uh, we also have here the person who create or who published the article. We have a very catchy and impactful title or headline, and the source is coming from Google. But the most questionable part is the person who made it, and that is Paul Watson. Since Paul Watson is not really a true, uh, you know, dili siya kanang provide og kanang reliable nga mga information, then we can say that the headline here or the article here is probably a fake news. If we talk about the probability of this one, siguro mga only 38% here is true. 'Di ba? So, when can we say that the article is based from facts? Okay? So, we have here another example of an article that is based from facts, no? So, we have another publisher, Damian Tago, and take note class he is a doctor of philosophy. So, it means that doctor siya, no? He is a best person, or this person really did his research. Okay, so Dr. Damien written a number of scientific research studies published in top academic journals in science and geography. He's a researcher and educator who currently works for the UN to spread knowledge of global warming. So this now will become our fact news. Okay, because why? The person involved in this article, Manggod, were a good writer, a good journalist, and of course, the credibility of this writer or this publisher is based from facts. Pasabot na naa siya ma-provide nga mga saman, na siya ma-provide nga mga evidence nga kwan or ang iyahang kanipitang background were were really uh kwan siya no kanang what they call this one. Uh ang iyang background is kanipitang reliable. Ganun. Imagine this person uh, is kanang kwan, he is a writer, and ang young study were based from science and geography, and also he is a current worker no sa UN and etc. By just reading the name of the publisher or by just identifying the kwan the profile of the one who wrote the article, who published the article, will give us an idea nga, kani atong gibasa nga article, kani nga article nga na-publish guys, is tinod jud. Okay? Naigiagi nga scientific process. Naigiagi nga scientific methods. Dili siya theoretical. Dili siya based from hypothetical lang mga nga kwan. Ang mga hypothetical lang nga process. Because provide siya, puta talaga no, the content of this article were really is qualitative type nga kanang kwan nga article. So, kwan yun siya, reliable siya. Okay? So, again, careful ta sa format sa article. It doesn't mean daw kuno nga na ay date, na ay person, or na ay kanang publisher, or na ay kanang author, pasabot na tinuod na. Yes, that could be a good format, but you have to identify first if the person involved here, or the publisher, or the author is also reliable. Okay? Actually, sa Twitter, kasi na Twitter dahil sa Twitter, daghang kay mga kwa sa Twitter, daghang kay mga fake news sa Twitter, no? Or karing sa share it ba? Experience ba dani class ka share it bitaw? Sa atong notification bitaw is naay mo appear di nga mga news. Kabantay mo dana?
Yes,
Katong
sir.
mga na-share it sa ilang na-share it up sa ilang kanang cellphones. Kabantay mo na flash sa inyohang kwan, sa inyohang kanang screen ng mga news, something like that.
Yes, sir. Pabantay mo.
Di ba? Like for example, nako nabasa pa kasi namatay na si Sharon Cuneta, no? Namatay si Sharon Cuneta, na-preso ko no si Pacquiao, ayan na. Tapos na-admit ko no si daghang kay mga ingana ba? And then ikaw po, you will be curious. Tinood ba ni siya? So you will search it sa Google. Di ba? Andrew E. gipatay na nila after daw kuno sa after daw kuno sa campaign, he was admitted sa hospital and he was diagnosed sa nakuno siya kanang cancer sa throat because of the katong iyahang kanabita iyahang kanang pagsingita daw kuno sa mga rallies and etc. So, kung ikaw is gamay kag utok, I'm sorry sa term, no, gamay kag utok, wala kay kanang illiterate ka nga person, motuod ka. And then you will start spreading that news to others. Like, uy, patay na ba si Andrew E? Muna, okay, kasi singita, manggod sa rally. Okay? Now, you'll be the one now nga ikaw naman nimong source noon sa fake news. Okay? And you'll be accountable for that one. Okay? Spreading fake news. Okay? It's the same thing when you say nga naburos ba si Kwan? Uy, buros ba si Kwan? Okay? Dita ko lang puson, buros na dayon. Di ba? Kung saan to test nga buros si Kwan? Si Paon na mo tiyan. Sa parang tiyan. Di ba? You'll be seeking information sa mga kailoy. Naburos di si Kwan? Payon siya dili. Wala na bahala. Ingon na ba ko nga buros si ana-ana? Di ba? Ikaw na nung mong source sa fake news. Dili to si Marites 1. Ikaw na nung napapasang nila noon kaya nag-spread kag fake news. So what is the relation that want to the research? If you were presenting your content based from fake news class, there will be branches of question that will be thrown sa inyo. Okay? Because the panelists will now wanted a guarantee from you as a researcher that you are providing really reliable, that you are really providing some positive and factual informations. For example, the sources, the reference that you have took from the internet, were not really based from facts, were not really existing. Then you have included there in your content, in your research. Now, the panelists wanted to know the relevance between the reference and the conclusions that you have made based from reading that article. The answer there will be misleading na. There will be no realigning, there will be no alignment. Okay? Magbuot-buot na istorya dahil kay. According to niya, are you sure that that source is capable of informing others or is capable of providing information based from experimentation and based from scientific methods? Di ba? So when can we say, Gani, that the article that our reference is facts or not is that making sure that the article that nga atong gikuha as a reference is naa siya gi-provide nga statistics and na po siya gi-provide nga nga kanang what do you call this one, if possible lang, no, kuan siya quasi experimental or quantitative, kana mas reliable siguro na because it provides numbers, it provides methods rather than being descriptive and quali lang, because those information were based from perceptions and perceptions can be deceived anytime. Okay, so do not be do not just kind of agree on the information that you have read. Okay, try to evaluate sa di basing na ay an information aside dani basing na lain article nga mas mas deepen pa ang iyahang information kaysa dani. So that is what research is all about. No, read and read and read. Okay, so let's try this one. So we have here a 30-second task. No? Let's sort the sources in this correct boxes. So we have different, uh, we have sources here, and the only thing that we can do here is to sort them. Sorting by means of putting them on their rightful places. So we have school textbooks, we have Al Jazeera, opinion of friends, websites, comments on social media, tabloids, papers. Ang Al Jazeera is kung ano siya klase, is a network. Okay, it's a TV network, a news network actually. So what is our task? What will be the one here? Ang tabloid, it means papers with gossip and exaggerated stories. And if you can think the kuno of any others, you can still provide. You know. So first, okay, we have here most reliable, somewhat reliable, and least reliable. So let's start from most reliable. Okay. May I request Karel. Karel, ba you there, Karel? Karel. Okay, bro. Absent si Butkon. How about you, Melody? Are you there, Melody? Wala. Okay, Philip. How about you, Philip?
Sir, pwede mo sa pausa.
Ha?
Pwede i-atras, sir.
Okay. Okay, Philip. Can you sort daw kuno? We have here sample sources. So what you will do here is that you will be sorting them according to their function. If they are most reliable, if they are somewhat reliable, and if they are less reliable. So among these six sources, which one is most reliable?
Pwede manobra, sir.
Sige.
Tabloid papers and school textbooks.
Okay, again, ang tabloid papers ha, na information na ni support to. Tabloid means papers with gossip and exaggerated stories. So, most reliable. Again, sige daw. Okay, textbooks. Another. Okay, we have textbooks, websites, and Al Jazeera. How about somewhat reliable, Philip? Stories. Okay. We have tabloid papers and somewhat reliable. Another. Okay, comments in social media. How about least reliable? Okay, opinions of friends because of bias. Another, can tabloid papers be part of least reliable? Okay. Okay, sa list actually sa least reliable, we have opinion of friends, comments on social media, and tabloid papers because they are not really 100% true. No, they're not really 100% reliable because let's say that they are depending only on what they thought is true. No, so okay, so these are the answers. No, actually, it depends, Pampud, on how you kwan, no, how you kind of how you understand the concept behind these sources. So, pwede siya mag-exage, pwede po siya dili. Okay? Okay. So, fake news intentionally, it is a misleading content created to misinform the reader, to either discredit real stories, either for political or financial gain. Okay, so fake news are intentionally created. Okay, so why do you think fake news are intentionally created? Sometimes it becomes a business. Okay, it becomes a sort of a platform from entertainment, and it becomes a habit also. Let's say for example, Rappler. Okay, Rappler is according to some studies, Rappler becomes one of the less credible information platform because they are also the kwan, di ba? Sila ang mga fact checkers. Now, they were questioned why they are the fact checkers when what they're providing are informations based from bias na mga sources. So, what do you think is wrong? No? So, ang wrong na to is that it doesn't mean manggod nga kanang internationally you are really good on providing information. Internationally, you are good on creating some headlines. Doesn't mean that you are really a credible source of information. Di ba? Sometimes you become only a credible information site if what you're providing were based from facts, were based not from other people's opinion, not from other people's kanang perception. Okay? May evidence. So what's wrong with Rappler is that Rappler becomes the least no na kwan, a credible kind of information platform. So not all information coming from Rappler really is true. That's why dili sila good pod when it comes to fact checking. Okay? In short, hilas ra kay sila usually no to fact check anything. Siguro if the fact checkers is gikan sa laing bansa, now, Twitter cannot be a fact checker, Facebook cannot be a fact checker, Instagram cannot be a fact checker, Google cannot be a fact checker. But pwede maka-provide og publishing company nga pwede may mong fact checker. Sir, ang historian ba can be a good fact checker? Ang journalist ba pwede may mong good fact checker? Actually, dili siya. Jude, they are somewhat reliable. But the most reliable are those people who do research. Okay? Researchers will be a good, no? There will be a good fact checkers because they are very passionate when it comes to fact checking something. Di ba? Especially when they are just theoretically believing something nga pwede din siya mabuhat, pwede din siya ma-exist. So masyado siya nga mga researchers, no? Ang mga fact checkers. Dili siya journalist, dili historian. Because pwede sila may mong bias pod kanang historian o journalist. And it's happening. Okay? It is what is happening right now. It becomes a trend. Diba? Can Google hits alone help us decide what isn't true? Of course not. Because if you search man good, for example, we have sample check, we have sample kanang items here nga gina-research. We have about 87, kani siyang pinaka-worst with class. We have millions of results. And then, the most the most problematic part is that, ala naman isa-isahon nimo pagkuan, pagtanaw ni siya 87 million results. Of course, hindi mo kaya sa usa ka adlaw lang. Di ba? So, how do you do, how are you going to kuan? How will you research something that is true? Based ka sa format. And if you know the format of a reliable content and a reliable source, then you know already unsa ang facts, unsa ang dili. Kung kabalo na ka sa content, kabalo na ka sa format. Okay? Okay, so please kindly screenshot na lang ni ang nga task since it's already 10:07. Okay? So your performance task is you have to create a brochure containing facts regarding the different or series of events currently happening in this time. I don't care if it's about health, I don't care if it's about showbiz, entertainment, basta do not give me kanang kwan, do not give me a content nga walay pulos like gisuntok ni Zenab ang kwan, ang kabit sa iyang sa iyang bana, ay kung tagay sa inya na nga kwan nga brochure. Okay, tagay kung informative. Okay, wa tay labot na na. Okay, do not also give me information nga kwan kanang what do you call this one? Kanang basta siya eh. Basta something nga dili siya kwan, something nga do not give me information that is so funny ah. Okay, di na siya relevant. So size, put it in a short bond paper. Ang text niya, it depends on how creative you are. Then make it artistic and, possess some creativity po. Deadline will be on June 3, 2022. So that will be Friday, next week. Okay? So did I make myself clear about your performance task? Yes, printed siya. Okay, printed siya. And we might be sa atong physics, we might be having kana bitang basing magkwenta ha, natay ka ng physics activity sa school. Okay, so basing di siya experiment, but activity siya. So mag-inform ako sa inyo, mag-announce lang ko. Probably it will happen next month siguro for your finals. Okay? No question about our discussion? None? So did I make myself clear about fake news versus facts? Yung topic? Okay, so if there's no question, if there's no valid reaction, thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry kung nanobra sa atong time. But anyways, have a good day and you may now leave the class. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.